Well, hello once again, everybody. Welcome to From the Hill podcast. I am your man, Wild Wayne Cartwright, and with me this evening, at least starting the show off, Mr. Corey Williams. What's going on, my brother?
Hey, nothing much, Wild Wayne, man. Hey, Happy New Year.
Hey, same to you, man. I know Corey wasn't on with us last week, but he's with us now. So as you can see, we got a little bit of quick groove going on. Some of y'all might remember that pound cake. Got that little pound cake playing for you. So before we get started tonight, we got, as we always do, we got some housekeeping. And some of this housekeeping is you can see the scrolling messages across the bottom of the screen. That is all the ways that you can follow us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram as well as Twitter. And also, please, as you come on tonight, hit that like button early and often and share and like and share and like and share and tell everybody as much as you can about this wonderful podcast. All right, we've got a very, very loaded show for you tonight. So I am going to get right on into the proceedings. And that is, we're talking about our basketball. So yesterday, our women took a nice little trip down the road to Mobile, Alabama, and played in that Bridge Builder Classic and took down that other team that we call them Hornets 60-46. And it brings their record to a wonderful and surprising, pleasantly surprised 4-1 in the SWAC. And they are tied with four other teams with one loss. And their overall record is 6 wins and 9 losses. And as you can see, they will be returning home to the crib this Saturday night at 5 p.m. local time down there in Alabama against the Texas Southern Tigers. And you can see the rest of the schedule as they take on Prairie View next Monday, and then they take a trip down to Florida. And our men, our men. Lord Jesus, we going to pray for them that they're going to get back in that win column, y'all. They fell for the third straight time yesterday to Alabama State, 69-61. They led this game at halftime, 41-36. And then the second half, they only managed to score 20 points and the bottom kind of fell out. But that's okay. Saturday is another day and another chance to take on another team as those Texas schools come rolling in to Huntsville, Alabama. So, Corey, comments?
Hey, Wayne. Hey, like you say, props to our ladies for being 4-1 in the conference. It's surprising to a lot, but I'm pretty sure it's not surprising to those ladies on that team and to the head coach. Hey, they're coming into their own and really playing some great team basketball. And hey, let's hope they can continue, this ride that they're on. They are really gelling together. You know, we have a couple of grad transfers who's stepping up, and also some newcomers. So they're letting you know, hey, they're here to win it. So hey, we're looking forward to them. On the men's side, you know, they started out 2-0 in the SWAC. They've dropped the last 3 in a row. But you know, people who have been following the men can see from when they were at home, being a second half team, you know, you're not going to be able to win on the road. Doing some of the things that they have been doing, trying to come back at the end. But yeah, that second half was terrible. 20 points. And, but the good thing about it is it's a long season. It's early. And we want to be peaking at the right time. So let's hope that they can put everything together and peak at the right time, because I'd rather for them to have some rough times right now instead of down the road. So I'm hoping that they'll be peaking toward the end, and hopefully this Bulldog Nation will come out this weekend as we host Texas Southern on Saturday for a big game. Hopefully they'll come out, Bulldog Nation, and they'll put the women and the men, over the hump.
That's right. Indeed. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our basketball recap. And with us, joining us right now is, we're trying to get her to join, is Jen. I don't know if we hear you or if you hear us, but we've got Jen. I'm going to remove you, Jen, because we can't see you. So let's try to get you to log back in. Oh, there it goes. We got Jen. Hello, Jen. Good to see you there. All right. So without further delay, our next segment. Before we bring them on, we just wanted to say that I talked to their head coach, James Moore, and he was so gracious and so excited to have his team to join us this evening. And what I want these ladies and I want this gentleman to do, I want them to be able to come on and just have a good time and just be themselves. So ladies and gentlemen, I present to some and introduce to others, none other than, as they come on, our A&M women's bowling team and Mr. and Mrs. Coach James Moore. How's everybody doing this evening? Welcome to the show.
We are doing great, Wayne. How are you this evening? How are you in the gang, I should say?
Hey, we are blessed and highly favored, as they like to say. So before we go forward, Coach, you and your wife introduce yourselves, and then I want the group of four to introduce themselves, and then I want Miss Walton to introduce herself.
Okay. All right. Well, of course, my name is James Moore. I'm from Mobile, Alabama, and graduate of A&M, both undergrad and grad, and have been living here in Huntsville for 40 years. I got here and never left, and just enjoy being part of the university, the community as a whole, and it's been a great experience. And I actually met this young lady right here on campus some 40 years ago. So we just kind of been together since then.
Awesome. All right, group of four, unmute yourself.
Hi.
Oh boy. Yeah.
All right, introduce yourselves. We got that smile. We got you now.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Raven. I'm a freshman and I'm from Chicago.
Hey, I'm Rose. I'm from Vancouver, Washington, and I'm a freshman.
I'm Lexi. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and I'm a freshman.
My name is Tamara Long. I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I'm a sophomore.
All right, Miss
We got some more over here.
We got one more.
Hey,
Go ahead.
we got the whole team.
My name is Naraya Jackson. I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana, but the team call me Nunu.
I'm Asia. I'm from Evanston, Illinois.
Oh, I'm Kia. I'm from Chicago.
All right.
And we have one more. She's right here.
Come on, slide on in there.
Who is that?
Hello, my name is Andriana, and I'm from Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Wayne, my wife didn't get a chance to introduce herself to you.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Yolanda Yates Moore, and I'm a volunteer assistant coach.
All right. Miss Walton.
All right. Hello. I'm Montea Walton from Detroit, Michigan, and I'm a senior majoring in business management.
All right. Well, that's the whole team. So
Yeah, that's the whole team. Yeah,
that's the whole team. I got you. They got y'all piled in over there. That's great. That's great. So I hope that y'all got your family watching. If your family's watching, we say hello to all of them, and just want everybody to know that we taking great care of these young ladies tonight. All right, Coach Moore and group. For those of us out here in the universe, just briefly explain to us about how the format of bowling works at the college level.
Okay. Montea, you said you wanted to do it. You want to tell them how it works?
Sure. Okay. So we're there for 4 days. We leave Thursday. Thursday is practice day. So we travel, we get to the lanes, we practice for about maybe 2 hours on the lanes. Then Friday begins the first day of competition, which is Bakers. So Bakers is one game, but 5 players play each frame. So essentially you only get 2 turns. So if you're the first person, you bowl first and 6th frame, second and 7th, and so on. And we do 5 matches with 5 games each match. Then Saturday, we bowl individuals. We do 5 games of that. So, all 5 players bowl their own individual game, and they go by wins that day. And on Sunday, we do Bakers again, best 4 out of 7.
All right.
Awesome.
That's pretty awesome. All right. So now tell us all how the season has been up to this point, and how the team's been performing. Just give us a summary about how things have gone so far this season.
It's actually going pretty good. We kind of came together, and we've been to a number of cities. We've been to outside Chicago suburbs somewhat. We have actually played pretty well. The SWAC regionals was this past weekend, and this was our best tournament ever since my wife and I have been coaches here at the university the last 5 years. The young lady scored 1,000 twice playing against Alabama State. Matter of fact, we lost by 10 pins to Alabama State, 1,020 to 1,010, to which we had 4 people bowl 200 in that game. And then we played against Prairie View A&M. We beat them. Once again, we shot 1,000, which says a whole lot because that means that's a 200 average for the whole game between every player, roughly. So we're kind of trending forward. We're planning on making a run in the second half of the regionals, which will be in D'Iberville, Mississippi, in about 3 weeks. And then we will, the 2nd through the 5th of February, and we will be able to go to the championship in Dallas if we beat we have to beat the top 6 teams. And right now we're number 7, but we were looking forward to going forward to winning and going to Dallas and bringing the championship home.
That's awesome. And so when you all go on a road trip now, we done got all the serious stuff out the way here on the beginning. We'll come back to the serious stuff here in a bit. But I want to know, all right, some of the superlatives of the team now. So now everybody speak up. Don't everybody speak up now. Who is the comedian of the team?
Oh my gosh.
Me.
All right. Okay. Now what are some of the things that y'all do? Do y'all do pranks? What do y'all do?
Oh.
Everything. Like,
What don't we do?
yeah, honestly, what don't we do? We do everything. My thing, I'm always dancing and making little comments, something to get everybody laughing. What you do?
Tay, who you think?
It's between y'all two.
Yeah. It's between Tamara and Lexi and Nunu. They just kind of they got a whole thing going. But once they get started, on the bus, you can't stop them, man. It's non-stop. and then we're on the road and they're asleep and they're quiet. That's it. But before that, they are live wired.
All right. Now, who's the most clutch performer? Like, all right, we behind by 7 pins. We gotta have it in this last frame. Who is the go-to performer on the squad? Or performers?
It's either gotta
It's
be
a
Nunu
or
Rose. Yeah.
Pros.
Yeah. I miss around the gutter.
Yeah. I would say Rose, Dariah, and Montea, they all are clutch players because they proved themselves this past weekend. Yes. They really did, because Alabama State was striking and we striking right with them toe to toe. So yeah, they are. It was really enjoyable to watch. Everybody had in the lanes, I think, were watching us play. It was that close.
Okay, Jay the Great, you go ahead. You got a question for him?
I sure do. Okay, so when we think of the sport of bowling, we typically think of it as a male-dominated sport. So, ladies, can you tell me how is it to bowl as a woman, like especially in a male-dominated sport?
I mean, I feel like I'm just as good as the males, honestly. Yeah. It ain't no male that intimidate me.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Yeah, she's not joking either.
I love it.
I mean, they definitely doubt us or look down on us and be like, you can't bowl or I can beat you. Like, they're quick to say that. But as soon as you get out on the lanes and you show them otherwise, it's, oh,
You
how long you been doing this? Like, you for real? You a pro? Like, nah. Where was that energy back then?
I love it.
So when y'all go back to be around your family, do y'all just love just taking joy and just beating the brakes off of like your mama and like the dude that been chirping? Because I know y'all like to talk. I know y'all talk.
See, I know y'all working with my brother. So like when I get home, he already know. He be like, "What you doing? Oh, let's go to the lanes." And we be on that. We be ready. So it's like sometimes I'll be him, other times he'll be me. He be like, "Send this to your team and let them know I beat all of them." I'm like, "But you're not."
I love it.
Yeah, every now and then, Wayne, I guess when the freshman first got here, I had to put them to the test and see if they could beat me.
Oh yeah, beat the
coach.
Indian.
All right.
Yeah, that was easy. That was easy.
Okay, I did throw the game a little bit, Wayne. I'm gonna let you know. But,
oh my gosh!
I love bowling and I love having fun with it, and these players are a reflection of that. My wife and I both, and it's a good time when we're having fun like that.
Yeah,
that's cool. So when you're not bowling now, ladies, just around the table here, like what are some of the things that you all like to do when you're not bowling?
Sleep.
Relax.
Sleep.
Let's get all the relaxation you can, because after those tournaments and just back-to-back traveling, it's draining and everybody's just so tired. Everybody just want to sleep, let their body rest.
Right.
That's
now,
what's
don't
up.
get me wrong. We outgoing, adventurous.
Yeah.
We go different places and eat together, but majority of the time a lot of times because we miss days of school, we're catching up on work or just simply relaxing because we have such a strenuous, or I wouldn't even say strenuous. We stand for long periods of time, so that's our feet aching, our back aching, and stuff like that. So
I hear it. So here's something from the chat. So Ty, we love Ty. She's on every week. What sport do y'all interact with the most on campus outside of bowling?
Football.
They love to challenge us.
They love to say they can beat us, but where have they been in there? Not once.
Now they've been in there, but
they've been in there.
Gutter balling.
Looking a fool. They looking a fool.
Probably not even bowling 100.
They got it coming though, because I think we're gonna both heads up before the semester's out sometime or another. They got it coming.
Hey, we going
football team.
Yep, and we gonna have a football team on here in 2 weeks.
Okay,
we got a football episode in 2 weeks.
Okay, tell Coach Bader we ready. Whenever we gonna tell
them that y'all ready, that y'all want the smoke. All right,
right? No.
Yep. Tell them to show up.
All right. Here's this one. Real good question here. How long have all of you ladies been bowling?
I've been bowling since I was like 4, but competitively since I was 7.
Okay.
I've been bowling. I started when I was around 5, and then I started competing around the same age. Like
I grew up in bowling alley.
Yeah.
I know I've been bowling. I started when I was 13, and I didn't start competing until I was 15. So.
Okay.
I've been bowling since I was 7.
7. So just like real early.
Yeah.
So I want to ask a question to Miss Vancouver, Washington. Yeah. Step on. Come on into the light.
Come on in there, Rose.
Come on up in there. All right. So being from Vancouver, you a long way from home.
Yeah.
So what drew you to A&M? Like, were you recruited to A&M, or you just saw A&M say, "Hey, this look good, I'm coming to Alabama"?
Well, so first I got a list of schools that I might have been interested in from my coach in high school, and I was just kind of going through all of them, looking at the websites, like doing the virtual tours, and I didn't really like any of them except for A&M, and so we came out in April. We flew out to come look at the college, and the first thing I saw was we drove past the stadium and we saw the hill, and the sunset was like just perfect. So I was like, wow, yep, this is it. This is one.
I like that.
That's what's up.
I like
That is what's
All right,
up.
let me ask this question. So what tips do you have for somebody like me? Now, when I go to the bowling alley, I have the guardrails down. I got to have them down because I'm going to be in the gutter. So I'm going to tell the truth on me. So what tips do you have for somebody like me that wants to be competitive, but I still got the guardrails down?
Bowl
if you wanna
with
be
a heavier
serious-
ball. If you bowl with a light ball, you don't got no control over what happens when you let go of it. If you bowl with a heavier ball or like a ball that's like a comfortable way for you, it's easier for you to control the ball and where it goes when it go down the lane.
And then, of course, I would also recommend if you like really want to be serious about it, get a coach. Because I
Get a
mean, it's one thing hearing from us what you can do and stuff, but it's also like hard to be like, yeah, just do this, just do that, and you be like, okay, I did that, but my ball not doing what your ball doing. So at least like, or find you somebody that can work in depth with you.
Yeah. If you really want to enjoy it, yeah.
That's
Go to
good.
ball team.
That's good stuff. Yeah, Jen with the bumpers. Oh, that's hilarious.
That's me.
All right, here's another question from the crew, from the chat. What is it like living in the South compared to being up north? Like those that are from Detroit.
Warm.
Yeah,
Very
warm.
much.
Very warm.
much. It's freezing.
Temperature wise is way better, and road wise. Like in Detroit,
Oh my
there's
God.
so
Them
many potholes. But down here, I don't really have to worry about that. So I definitely enjoy that.
Hey, I lived in Detroit for 8 years. I know about them potholes. I live here in Ohio. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I live in Columbus. Right now, today it was 56 degrees, though. We all right. Hey, we celebrating when it's 56 degrees in late January. But yeah, I felt that too, y'all, being in the warm climate. We got somebody else to add to the parties. Everybody say hello to T. Gooden.
What's up, T. Gooden?
Hello.
How are you?
T. Gooden, I'm going to put you right to work, brother. I know you got questions for the crew, so go for it. Yeah, we can barely hear you, brother. Nope, you're getting better, but still can't hear you. That sounds a lot better. That sounds better. We can hear you now. Go for it.
I can't hear him.
I can't. We can't hear.
He just going to repeat his question.
I can kind of hear.
All right, so T, type it in the chat, and then I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah.
All right. While he's doing that, here's a real good one. Anybody go for this one?
Wildest bowling story.
Wow.
Okay, well, I wasn't actually bowling at the time, but it was in the bowling alley. When I was like 4 or 5, I was running and they told me not to be running. And I ran into a chair and I cut half my eye, like my face open, and I had to get a whole bunch of stitches.
Oh, wow. Now, while we're waiting on Tenarius, I do have another question. Now, I know there's a huge rivalry with Alabama State. What other SWAC school do you have an intense rivalry with?
FAMU.
FAMU.
And they just got it.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
They just got here. Yeah. The gloves off.
No, we used to have one with Southern, but now it's kind of like nonchalant.
Yeah.
Like, we hear y'all here. What's up? But honestly, I feel like our rival with ASU is like a love-hate Because we'll go back and forth, but we'll also cheer them on, or they'll also cheer us on.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're very
Nice.
good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a friendly rivalry when it comes to bowling. It is very friendly. Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like that rivalry is what makes us also perform better when we're going against them, because we both talk smack, we both want to win, but it's like a friendly rivalry.
And so with when you talk about rivalries and things like that, so who would you say on the team, if the team's not doing real well and you need somebody to just come and give that motivation, who's that person on the team?
Motivation.
Yeah, you asking me or asking
Anybody on the team is a player, or which player would you consider is that, hey, everybody gonna be all right when this person talks?
Yeah, I feel like it's Tate.
Tay.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
right.
every time, if I'm doing bad or something, Tay be like, "It's okay, you got this. You got the next frame." Or like if it's a next game, like that was the last game, it's in the past. She'll say some motivational little speeches. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
she'll keep them. She'll keep them straight.
Nice.
So Coach Moore and Coach
Yes.
Moore, this next one will be for you two.
Okay.
So moving forward, I know you kind of touched a little bit on the goals, but what I also want to talk about is just program wide, this year into the future. Like, what are some of the things that you guys are looking to do with the program to make it bigger? And also, it's a 2-part question also. And then also, what are some of the things that Bulldog Nation can do to support this program better, whether it's showing up or financially or whatever?
Yeah. Well, going forward, the team has, like I said, the teams have gotten better. We've both been a part of this thing for five and a half years.
Yeah.
And we first got into it, it was kind of experience for both of us. Just traveling and getting used to traveling because we don't have children. So, we're having to learn on the fly about, dealing with, young people and personalities in school and the whole 9 yards. I do teach part-time on campus. And I've had some experience dealing with young people for the last 20 years, since around 2000. So that helped a lot. But the biggest part was just the traveling. And then, we had walk-ons and teaching them how to bowl, everything like that. So now it has evolved to where, these young ladies can really bowl.
Yes.
And going forward, we're just trying to make the program stronger. We want to be like a brand, not just a team, but we are the Lady Bulldog. We are the team Lady Bulldog bowling, the bowling team. And so I'm hoping that we'll get a lot more support from the school, and we do. The alumni in some place in Chicago have been great.
Yes.
They treat us very well there.
Yeah.
And we've been to Houston, and they come out and they support us, and it really makes a difference when they're there. It really helps build the energy of the team itself. So we want to get bigger and better. The facilities has gotten better on campus. We're hoping to get an upgrade with the lane machines and things of that nature, that what will give us a better practice before we go and travel and all that kind of thing. So we're looking forward to much better years. We're just growing and expanding, and it's going to be a good ride for us. And what I want to do is make the players, give them the experience of being part of the whole thing. So when they leave here, they have memories to go on from that point.
That's awesome. That's awesome stuff. And we definitely, with this show, we definitely plan to not just having you on, but we also will continue to update people, about your matches. So whenever you have matches, we definitely will make sure that we give you guys shout out and mention.
Okay.
And also, there's a couple other things too that people put in here. I wanted to make sure there are 2 more questions I want to make sure to get answered before you guys get off. So do you play any home matches? And if you do, where are those being played?
Well, we don't play any home matches this year, but we're going to try to put one in town next year, either at Penn Pals or at Redstone Arsenal. because they've been very good about letting us come out to use their facilities. And my wife and I have a relationship with the people out there, so we might put one on there. And access to Arsenal is not like it used to be. You can get on doing events, just schedule ahead of time for the general public. And if we do that, that'd be great. That means we won't have to travel anywhere else. We can stay here in town. And
so locations closer to Huntsville would be Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville will be the next place. Yeah,
as well as Montgomery, Alabama.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
One thing I wanted to say right quick about the season, as you know, the season goes from October to March, and in a run of events, just to give an idea of what the players go through. There's like 10 events roughly. One player, 68 games total for the whole season if they play every game. Okay, so you're looking at players throwing 14 to 15 pound balls over a course of a season, comes up to nearly over 20,000 pounds just carrying back and forth. I calculate this whole, I'm a fanatic about statistics. So it's 20,000 pounds, which comes to be close to over a ton, over 10 tons over the whole season. When they're walking, going back and forth, there's 4 trips, spares, first ball, come back and forth. They walk over 8 miles, almost 8 miles total. Okay. And between all that, by the time the season's over, there's a lot of injuries in bowling, easily. Shoulders, fingers, arms, So bowling is really a demanding sport. It's not, most people come to a bowling center, they get the lightest ball they can throw as fast as they can. But to really be good at it, I think everybody here throws about 14 to 15 pounds on the team. And so doing that and waiting for your turn and your body kind of stay loose the whole time. Even when you bowl very well, we bowled 5 matches, and it's just a matter of enduring that whole day, and then coming back the next morning. And you're too tired to do anything else but go home and eat to the hotel, and then go to sleep and start all over again the next day, and then travel long distances to get there. So, to their credit, they are real troopers. They really are.
They are.
They really are. They keep us going.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to also post this message because this has been very consistent throughout the chat. You all have so much support from Bulldog Nation. Just want to let you all know that we're all very proud of your efforts. And this won't be the last time you all will be on. We'll see your smiling faces on these airwaves again. And Coach Moore, if you need anything from us, if you need anything that you would like us to announce for you in the future, just shoot me a message. We're here for you. All right.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate you giving us this opportunity to introduce the bowling team to the Bulldog Nation. I really want to thank AD Bryant since he's been here. He's gives me a lot of support.
Yes. And
just been open about everything, and I really appreciate that. It gave me a second win here for us to really get on track, and I really thanks goes out to him and all the support of the athletics department, helping the bowling team be the team that they are and to be better in the future.
Well, amen to that. And lastly, keep up the good work, ladies. And thank you for coming on. And we will be watching you all from afar. Go Bulldogs.
Absolutely.
Go Bulldogs.
Go
And
Bulldogs.
we are going to be rooting for y'all when y'all go to Dallas. Y'all gonna show out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh, we going to Dallas.
Y'all going.
Yeah,
We going to Dallas.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, guys?
Yeah.
And don't forget to follow our Facebook page, AAMU Lady Bulldogs Bowling World. It's a long name, but keep up with us.
Will do.
We got it. And this is all a recording. So those that missed it the first time, we can go back and get it the second time.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
Thank you
Peace,
so much,
ladies. Thank you, Coach. Off they go.
Man, I've had the technical bugs and everything today. Sorry, I'm just not getting on, but everything has went crazy today.
That's all right, brother. You right on time.
Right on time.
Right on time for our next segment. So this young lady that we're going to bring before you, she is a graduate of Howard University back in 2018. And she is one of the hardest working ladies in show business and sports entertainment. So again, I present to some and introduce to most none other than Miss Courtney Tate.
Hi guys, how are you?
Welcome.
Thank you for
Welcome.
having me.
It is. Hey, we're glad that you're on. Welcome to the show.
Of course.
So, Courtney, and just so everybody knows, just again, we'll take a brief pause before we get into this with Courtney. Just make sure that you hit that like button and also subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow all of our Instagram and Twitter and all that good stuff. Now, Courtney, if you would, for the folks that are out here watching, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Of course. So I'm Courtney. As you said, I'm a graduate of Howard University. I am from the small town of Morganton, North Carolina. I decided at a very early age that I wanted to be in the sports industry. I have a childhood of knowing nothing but sports. So that led me into the sports industry. I worked really hard for the last maybe 5 years of just getting my feet under me. I've done work for ESPN post-graduation. I've done on-air broadcasting for a variety of different news stations up until landing me with HBCU Go, where I was able to meet you all.
That's awesome. Awesome. And from a very young age, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no,
Pretty
for
cool.
sure. I was raised by my dad only. So you can imagine that he, of course, wanted a boy, but he did not get a boy. Tried to raise me as such. So that's all we bonded over really was our sports background. And that really molded our relationship. And that really paved, my interest in the sports industry and the sports world. So that's where I am now.
That's awesome. That's really good. So in commentary, and it's funny when I was I was putting together this show, I was studying a few of your works and looking at some of your videos back when you was doing, you were covering high school basketball games.
Oh, wow.
And,
you dove deep.
yes, we dig deep. I'm not just a podcast host. I'm also a sports enthusiast too.
Nice.
So I saw some of the videos and saw like some of the beginnings. So when you first cut your teeth in journalism and also just being in front of the camera, what was that like? Like, and especially being a young woman at that. Just kind of talk about that for us.
Well, I have to say my journey at Howard really crafted my role now that I'm in as a reporter. It wasn't new to me because I feel like I was able to really become a mature and well-prepared journalist with my journalism program at Howard. They threw us in, like, we didn't have to write papers. We didn't have to, we didn't have to do exams. Like my program, they threw us into the field. So we were our exams were to go out into the field and go out into DC and go shoot stories on our own and get real life interviews. And that really helped me to create, for one, a good resume. I had a good rapport around the city, so I was able to, land internships throughout the city. So when I left Howard, I felt like I was actually really prepared to jump right into the industry. I didn't feel like I was, out of my own territory. It was not new territory for me. It was something that was very natural. Being in front of the camera, I felt really prepared, and that I give credit to my professor, Jennifer Thomas, who was a longtime CNN producer. She actually broke 9/11, and she really gave me my start. I always give her that credit. I give her the credit of really just preparing all of us, everybody that goes through her class and everybody that goes through that journalism program. It's not, not the best program in terms of having the high quality equipment. Obviously, those are some of the struggles as an HBCU graduate that we have to just deal with. Sometimes we don't have the same kind of structure. We don't have the same facilities. We don't have the same resources that other schools may have, but that doesn't matter when you are learning how to become a good journalist. And she really prepared me to go into the industry and not have to worry about being, nervous in front of the camera, or not knowing what to do, or being nervous to really learn how to do research on people and getting to know people and getting in front of their faces and learning how to do interviews and crafting, really perfecting my craft. So I would say that I was prepared coming out of college.
That's great. T. Gooden.
Hey, just a couple questions I had. As a young reporter, commentator, what type of advice would you give to the upcoming college men and women that may want to get in the field, in the line of work that you are currently in?
Well, just from my experience, I would say if I were to advise a young journalist coming up, I would say to really figure out what it is exactly that you want to specialize in within the industry. A lot of people say, oh, I want to be a journalist, or I want to be an on-air reporter, but they have really no idea what it is they want to cover. And when you can specialize in something in the industry, you create for yourself a much more clear-cut path. I know a lot of journalists kind of lose their way in trying to figure out whether or not they want to dive into digital, or they want to go into news, or they want to do entertainment. There's a lot of things that you can do in this industry, but the first thing that you need to really understand is what your passion is, what you are good at, what feels natural to you, and what can bring you the most opportunity for what you're good at. So, I genuinely think that when you learn what you're passionate about and learn what, feels comfortable for you as a journalist, that everything kind of falls into place, in my opinion.
My next question is, I remember maybe a couple months ago, you guys were at the Alabama A&M basketball game. Just kind of talk to us how it was to commentate that game in that brand new arena, because you guys were the first. We were on HBCU Go before there was an ESPN game. There hasn't been an ESPN game yet. So kind of talk us through how the experience was.
Well, that you guys are actually very special to me, because that was the first time that I had ever actually done color commentary for any real broadcast. I mean, I had done it for kind of like an internship for me. I used to intern for Summer League, and they kind of threw me on air, but I was completely, new to that. So I can remember, and my family and my boyfriend will tell you, I was nervous going into that game. I was so nervous. But it was actually I felt right at home, and I was also having flight troubles that day. I was supposed to fly in that night before. I ended up having to fly in the day of the game. So I didn't get to have the natural coaches call. I didn't get to go to shoot around. I just felt really unprepared. But for me, because basketball is so, it is the one thing that I know front to back, commentating the game was probably the easiest thing that I've ever done in this industry, because I was simply, analyzing what I saw in the game happening live in front of me, as if I'm having a conversation with one of my friends, or as if I'm having a conversation with my dad. I felt very, very comfortable, and I felt like you guys at Alabama A&M just kind of welcomed me with open arms, and I really was. I had a good time. That was a very, very good experience for me that day.
Good to hear. And my last question is, we have a game with HBCU Go on the 23rd. Will you be in town for that game?
Actually, I will not be at that game. I will be at Jackson State on the 21st. So he will have a completely new broadcast team.
Got it. Great.
So with HBCU Go, all right, just give us and all the viewers, take us in, as much as you can say about what you have to do getting ready for a broadcast, whether you're a color commentator or you're an analyst, or even just as a sideline reporter.
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of people, don't see the work that happens behind the scenes. Preparation is a huge thing for me. If I have, if I know that I have a game next week, I am preparing all week for it. I'm looking up stats. I'm familiarizing myself with rosters. I'm calling coaches and, getting game notes and breakdowns and asking them questions throughout the week prior to the game. I am just doing a lot of work behind the scenes before you get on air. And that's what really makes craft a good broadcast. A lot of people think that, oh, like, you know, you just jump on camera and you figure it out. No. Like we are working nonstop behind the scenes to make sure that everything goes smoothly. I mean, from production to having to figure out, you know, how to work your earpiece. There's so many working pieces that go into the job that a lot of people don't get to see, but we are really, really working a lot in, before the game.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jen.
Okay, awesome. So Courtney, you are blazing trails, especially for the generation that's coming up behind you as a woman in sports. Who is your idol and who do you look up and who has inspired you to do what you're doing right now?
Well, I have a couple of people that I have always looked up to. My number one person that I look up to is Doris Burke, without a doubt. I just think that she, as a woman who has been able to infiltrate this male-dominated industry, not only being able to cover women's sports where you're probably more accepted, but to just go into, you know, the NBA every single day and be well respected, you know, not having, without question, knowing that she's going to deliver and be amazing at her job has always been something that I've always aspired to look to be. I also really, you know, look up to Malika Andrews. And as someone who is a young Black woman who wears natural curly hair, that's kind of something that is unseen or has been unheard of in recent times, as you know, in the sports and news industries. You know, we like to see women have straight hair. We like to see, and we're normally seeing women who are, you know, a little bit older and more mature. So to see a young woman be able to, you know, go into that major company and such a big platform and be able to succeed lets me know that there are doors that I can kick down as a 26-year-old Black woman and do the same thing and be able to rise and above, you know, what I thought was the norm in this career and industry.
That is awesome. So just giving you a little bit of your flowers from the group, from the comments. So you do she does as great a job on those sidelines, as good as any ESPN reporter.
Are you talking about me or Malika?
No, they're talking about you. This is you, Courtney.
Thank you so much.
I was like, no, they talking about you.
Thank you. No, I feel like it's been a long time coming. I would consider the work that I did in college part of, you know, building my resume. So I feel like I'm almost a decade in now. So I feel very like seasoned in this industry. It's just good to see the things that I've been working for so long finally start to pay off, you know?
Yep. And here's another comment for you. You got this, Courtney. Your curly hair is gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much. This hair journey has been a journey as well. We could go on and on about transitioning from straight to natural all day long.
Right. And then a question from our colleague, Mr. David Thomas. HBCU Go has done great with their presentation with HBCU sports. Where do you see it in the next 5 years for HBCUs?
Well, I love that HBCU Go got in and got, you know, got kickstarted when it did, because now we're at a time in this we're at a time and place where HBCUs are being talked about a lot more. You know, we're seeing HBCUs make mainstream headlines. Just last night I saw the Howard Morehouse game on national TV on ESPN. I'm seeing, you know, people talk about Jackson State. Deion Sanders did a great job of being a trailblazer for, you know, bringing notoriety to HBCU athletic programs. So with that being said, I think it was the perfect time to kickstart HBCU sports, because HBCU Go, because of the visuals what we're seeing in HBCU sports at this moment. So as in 5 years from now, I see a lot more people, I see a lot more partnerships, I see a lot more coverage and a lot more games and nationally televised games being presented right from our platform. So I think that this was the perfect time for Byron Allen to really start this platform for us.
That's good. Another question here is, what is the funniest thing that happened to you on air?
Oh, LOL. There's a lot of, you know, live television is hard. I just had a rough experience last Saturday. I was at Southern and where I was set up in front of the camera, the speaker, the DJ speaker was right in front of me. So it was hard to hear anything. And I literally, like, you could not hear yourself scream on the mic. So I had to do a live interview with their former football coach, Pete Richardson, who just got inducted into the National Black College Hall of Fame. And on air and live television, he just kept saying, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. And the interview is dying, in my opinion. I'm like, oh my gosh, I look ridiculous. Finally, the music went off and I was able to get the interview done, and I didn't freak out and panic. But in that moment, I'm like, this is crazy. So in a live television, you're bound to have anything happen. You just have to go roll with the punches and not take it personal, and move on to the next play, have a next play mentality. Because if you let the things that can happen to you on live television knock you down, you will have a very, melancholic experience in this industry.
Yeah, I would truly concur. I mean, we're live here.
I mean, yeah, technical difficulties. There's just something you can't control. And sometimes it looks crazy and other times it doesn't. But you just have to keep going. Like that just comes with the territory.
That's it. That's truly it. So, just want to kind of digress a little bit here from just traditional TV work. I want to ask you about just HBCU sports as a whole. Yeah, you mentioned Deion Sanders, and consequently, after our next segment, we're going to talk about Ed Reed and what he said. And we're not going to ask you to comment about Ed Reed because we're not going to ask you to comment on that because we know you have to go to Bethune-Cookman at some point.
I do.
Mm-hmm. So
actually, I think I'm going. That's my Jackson State game next week.
Right. So we know you have to go down there. So
yeah.
We're not going to ask you to comment on that. Only thing I want to ask you about is just we talked about how TV is, but you've gone and you've sat in these gyms, you've been on these fields. Like, what is your overall impression of just HBCU sports and also just the atmospheres as a whole? What are your opinions on it, and kind of some things that you think could be done to help improve the overall experience and performance?
Of course. So I have conversations with a lot of people. I am truly an advocate for investing in our HBCUs and bringing our top athletes to our programs. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in order for that to happen. Let's make that clear. I do think that, in just the times now, the atmosphere is second to none. Like, when you're at an HBCU game, you are seeing the frats, you're seeing the sororities, you have the DJ, you have the dancers, you have the band, which is like no other. Like, the experience when you're at these HBCU games is honestly one of the most fun experiences that I have been able to be a part of, from college up until being an HBCU sports reporter. I do think that, in order for us to see growth in these programs, well, for one, I don't want to overstep too many boundaries, but I do think a lot of times finances has a lot to do with that. So we are investing a lot of money in our HBCUs where, we're investing into certain programs, but I think that sometimes we forget to invest in our athletic programs. I know that you guys just got this brand new, beautiful facility, and I thought that was incredible for you guys. And that facility honestly could draw a lot more attention for your programs. And just the locker rooms, the weight rooms, the people bringing nutritionists on and having all of these certain things that a lot of HBCUs don't get to have. And that starts with people being able to see that they need the money to do that. We saw Deion Sanders donating some of his salary to fixing up some of his facilities as well. And that attracted more talent to that program. So I think that once we get to see that people will come to these programs, they're being considered now. I mean, it's not far off to say that could be a possibility that more people will want to start coming to these schools. But in order for these programs to grow, you have to be willing to put some of that money into these programs as well. You can't have the same gyms from 1971 thinking that we're going to attract athletes when they're going to these big Power 5 schools and being drawn to amazing things that they have there. I was just talking to this with my play-by-play, Charlie Neal, and he was saying even like, some alumni donations, if we had alumni donating, not only like or boosters donating to, these programs, it would be completely different. And you don't have to donate that much money, or you don't have to allocate it to, fixing up the yard every year, which is sometimes what I see happening at these HBCUs. You can donate it to getting new uniforms or getting better programs or anything, So I feel like there's a lot of growth that can be done, but it's a lot of work that has to go. And it starts with getting some money into these programs.
That's really cool. And shout out to Charlie Neal. I'm kind of dating myself, but when I was a little kid in the 80s, I used to watch BET when they had those college football games on, and Charlie Neal used to commentate.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
It was beyond me how important he is to the culture, but Charlie is definitely a legend.
Yes, he is. That's awesome. And you also get to work with Laurencia Moten, whose dad was one of my favorite players when I was in high school. He was the one, her dad, Lawrence Moten, who actually made the high white socks actually cool again.
Yeah. We talk about her dad often. No, I love Laurencia. She actually spearheaded this all-female sports broadcast that we have. So Laurencia, she does play-by-play, and I do color commentary when we have our female sports broadcasting, and it's such a pleasure to work with her. She is awesome. She's very good at what she does. She takes her craft very seriously. Unless you know who her dad is, that doesn't mean any, her having an NBA dad, you wouldn't have no idea, because she just genuinely is such a humble and, beautiful spirit. So I love Laurencia.
That's awesome. And we hope to have her on this show also too in the future, because
I gotta send her a text like, hey girl.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are wanted.
Absolutely. So I have one more question for you, and then there'll be time for your FaceTime. And my last question for you is a pretty important question. Is what is the future for Courtney Tate? What is your dream job? What do you see yourself doing moving forward in this profession?
When I think about what my dream job is, I just always know that if I'm able to be in the sports industry for the rest of my life, that I'm living the dream as we speak, Now, granted, there are obviously dream companies, it is, you want to be at the NBA finals, you want to be on that TNT, you want to be on that TNT broadcast where, they're hosting all things NBA. So, the sky is the limit, in my opinion. I don't really have a end goal, but but if I'm able to just continue elevating and continue working with college athletes, continue working with professional athletes, that's what I want to be able to continue to do for as long as I can continue doing it.
Well, that is awesome. And so with that, it is time for your FaceTime. And as all of our viewers know, we like to have our distinguished guest of the evening to have their time on the screen. And this is your time to say whatever it is that you want to say to the community, to the airwaves. You can speak on anything that you feel that you want to say. And when you are done, just say, I am good. So we're going to come off camera, and you will be all by yourself on your own stage.
Okay. Well, I do know that as of recent, I've had a lot of young girls reaching out to me that have seen me on the sidelines, that have said, I am a journalism major and I really would like your help and I really would like some advice. So if there are any other students or any other young girls or young men who are, aspiring to jump into a career, for one, I would say anything that you can do or want to do is accessible to you. You absolutely can do anything, whether it be this industry or not, whether it's become a doctor, whether it's become a lawyer. But I will say, if you wanted to follow into my footsteps, for one, I am always available to reach out to. I love being able to open doors for people who are coming up under me or coming up behind me or still in school. I definitely think that with work and faith, because faith is really important to me, anything is accessible, anything is achievable. So I would hope that you guys continue to strive to follow your dreams. I'm still following my dreams as we speak. I'm still trying to figure out and navigate my way through this industry, but I definitely feel like it is very, very, cool to see other people, continuing to want to, especially women, continue wanting to be in the sports industry and want to be on air or want to be producers and directors. We definitely need more producers. We definitely need more people working behind the scenes. That makes our show continue to go on. And continue to reach out to me. Like I love talking to people. My Instagram handle should be somewhere. If not, it's at Courtney Tate on TV. And I answer my DMs regularly, especially to people who are like looking for advice or looking to work together or collaborate. So just feel free to continue, talking to me or talking to anybody. I love mentorship. I have mentors of my own that I always reach out to, and continue following your dreams, following your passion. Don't let your passion, subside or go away. Continue to, love the journey that you're on. It's a long journey, but you'll make it through. And that's really all that I have to say for that. So I guess I am done.
Well, Courtney, I as well as T Gooden, as well as Jen and the other members of our group, we are so incredibly grateful that you have taken time out of your busy schedule to join us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Definitely.
I know that when I saw you talk and do the broadcast at A&M, I was like, okay, I said, who is one of these people that I think that I can reach out to and maybe get on our airwaves? And so thankful that you responded. And as I say with a lot of our guests, this will not be the last time that you join us.
No, for sure. I would love to, reach out to me anytime.
Absolutely. So just continue to shine, keep doing your thing, and we will continue to watch HBCU go and continue to support you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and good luck to you guys for the rest of the season for y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
All right. Off she goes. That's Courtney Tate, everybody.
Awesome interview. Awesome.
That was a great time, wasn't it?
It was.
All right. Well, everybody that's still with us, we're gonna keep on rolling into our next segment, which is, oh boy, are we ready for it? We're talking about Ed Reed. Here's the video.
I chose not to, but now I'm out here walking with the football team, picking up trash. But I'm mutting us. Man, get out of here, man. I should leave. I'm not even under contract doing this. I'm mutting us? Man, get out of here, man. They mutt me. These motherfuckers ain't even clean my goddamn office when I got here. I'm mutt y'all? Get your ass, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. All this shit here was trash in front of me. Who you think got this shit cleared out? That building right there got trash in it. It's fucking trash. What are you talking about? I need no goddamn donors to come out and help out, because people just want money.
Woo! All right.
Well, all right. Should have put a PG-13 rating on it. That was hot for my sensitive ears.
Very, very colorful there. And CK Williams is back with us here. Oh, yeah, Brand. Yeah, we know Brand. Said he was big mad. Yes, he was. And guess what? He was also big wrong. Let's discuss. Go ahead. Go for it.
My first thing is there's a way. I was watching and listening to this podcast yesterday. It's amazing to me how a lot of people come on and say they defend that. No, it should have been said. That means the administration needs to get their stuff together. And there's always places for everybody to improve, our jobs to improve. But I want people to step back for a second. People always go to, hey, the alumni need to donate more, but we gotta just think about it. Every HBCU, if it is one, I don't know what it is. All HBCUs are in states that are red states. Historically, the red states are ran by a party that cares nothing about black people in history. Forget the schools, and we and then we're talking about HBCU. So yes, the alumni can give more. Yes, we can, but we are severely underfunded. People want to say, well, where are the maintenance people? Guess where the money comes from to hire maintenance people? That money comes from the state, and so we got to stop just trying to blame everything on more giving, more giving, more giving. And the other thing that kind of that pissed me off about it, he said that he hadn't even signed the contract yet, and he's well, whose fault is that? I don't start a job unless I get an offer letter, and I think most of it, like I'm not going to do anything prior to things being done. I'm not a football coach. I don't know how that stuff works, but to me, don't get on the internet saying that these people begged you to come and work without a contract. I think you did that on your own, and again, we can't play that video without saying after that he has issued a formal apology, but yes. I don't care nothing about the apology. You got on there, berating your school, your employer, and that goes against the alumni and fans. Because I promise you, man, if something ever were to happen like that, and we get a coach that did that with Alabama A&M, I'm gonna be personally offended, and I'll be dang if I don't say anything about the board of trustees and or the president, whoever makes that decision, to actually give that person the contract if they have not signed it. That's all I got.
I'll just say this. I am so tired of these celebrities coming in and not sitting down and learning the landscape before you start opening your mouth. He absolutely would not have done that to the University of Miami. And for those of you who really know, Miami has not had a clean program. So there's plenty to go live about for Miami. He has not done that. I'm going to, I may get in trouble for saying this, but I'm just tired of we already have qualified men that love HBCUs and have invested in HBCUs. They may not have gone to one, but the investment was there, and they come in and it's like, okay, I respect the history. I respect who we come behind, and let me just live while I climb, And unfortunately, we're getting these people that come in and they're coming in with a superiority complex, and it's displayed in the words that they say. I guarantee you, the people that agree with how he said it, like Tenaria said, there's a way to do things. The people who agree with how he said that, I want y'all to go to y'all job tomorrow. I want you to go to everybody here got that works. It's something that's messed up at your job, but I guarantee you're not going to go in there and talk and carry on the way that he did. It's unacceptable. And again, we appreciate your apology, but your apology needs to be as loud as the disrespect.
Mm-hmm. Corey.
Wow, man. That's not a good way to start. First impression for Ed Reed as a college head coach. Professionalism 101. I'm all about professionalism, and that was not professional at all. The cursing, as a parent, just me wanting to send my kid, I'm worried about what in the locker room, just from the kind of, language that was used and the lack of professionalism, about, what's going on in the locker room. That was totally inappropriate. I'm hoping that if he still has a job, that he will learn from this. I don't know if he's trying to get a Amazon Prime deal or some kind of deal behind this. I don't know what's behind that. I'm just dismayed on the lack of professionalism from that video. Yes, all HBCUs have are underfunded. has issues, but it's better ways to handle that than what he did. You know, it's a lot of better ways. You know, talk to your AD, talk to your president. It's different ways to handle that, and you know, anything that you need, you know, ask. But that was total, you know, not professional at all. And anybody, like you said, Wayne, who stands behind that, you know, and just talking about that's Ed Reed. I don't care if that's Ed Reed. I don't care who it is.
Right.
Nobody should talk that way in a public forum in the way he did as a head coach. So, you know, that's one thing I love about our head coach. You know, regardless of how people feel about him, you know, he's a man of character, and he stands, you know, about building men and raising men, and by Ed Reed displaying that, you know, I just hope, I'm praying that he will change. You know, this will be a learning experience for him, but he definitely started on the wrong foot.
That's right.
And just imagine if like the people that are okay with, like, be real, if that was a white guy saying the same thing, you'll come unglued. You know, let it be a white guy with the same beard, with the same makeup, with the same, like, you know, NFL background came and said that, like, you would come unglued. So let's not, man, he's supposed to say the blah blah blah. Did he lie? Like, don't do that, because if it's been somebody of a lighter complexion, man, who is this white man think he is talking to us like that? Well, Ed Reed shouldn't have did it either.
That's right. And just my brief comment on this is that area has been hit real hard by hurricanes.
Two hurricanes. And, you know, so I don't care who you are. I don't care where you are. Even if you're in an affluent area, cleaning up from a hurricane takes years. It's not something that goes away quickly. And it takes a lot of funding to be able to do that. And so everything that you all echoed, I echo the same thing. I just want to also just point out to those that supported what he said and what he did, saying that he needed to drag them and put them out on the no. That's not how you do business, and that's not how you start a regime. Now, you know, good luck to him. You know, we'll see what the aftermath is. We'll see how this flows, because ultimately it's really about what Reggie Theus really feels as the athletic director, and also their school president, and then also the faculty and boosters. So we'll see what happens. More to come on that. So our next thing that we're going to slide into is we've got some updates. And with that, here you go, Mr. T. Gooden. The floor is yours.
Yes, updates from Dr. Paul A. Bryant. The first thing, which is big news, we kind of heard about it, you know, a few months ago. But our event center will host the Alabama Community College conference, which is the ACCC. That conference will start. Let me get my date here. It's from March 7th through the 10th. On that Tuesday, it will be the men's quarterfinals. On that Wednesday, it'll be the women's quarterfinals. The semifinals for both men and women will be on Thursday, with the championship game on Friday. If you're not familiar with that conference, just think about the schools like Shelton State, Wallace State, all those community colleges in the state of Alabama where students can go play 2 years. Those are the teams that will play in that conference. So that is real big. Now, I know people will probably ask, and they should know the answer to this, no, your season tickets will not work for that. We need to go and buy tickets for this, because guess what that does? That puts money back in our school. So make sure that when that conference championship does come around, let's make sure we buy some tickets, buy some for high school students, send them on their way. The next thing is the game day pep rally is on Thursday at the event center. Thank you, Wayne, for that. The AAMU pep band will be there, the cheerleaders, and the dog pound. So make sure you are there for that as well. The last thing that I have on my list, when I was messaging Dr. Bryant today, I said, hey, what other updates do you have?
He's in the chat, by the way. Shout out to Dr. Bryant.
He told me he would watch tonight. When I did speak with Dr. Bryant earlier today, I said, what updates you have? Then he sent me a picture of the baseball field, and he told me he was just concerned, like, how are we gonna play baseball this year? That was a picture that he took today. So and he asked me to, he's trying to get in touch with some baseball alum. So friends and family and alum of Alabama A&M, we got to get our baseball field and softball fields in plain shape. Last year, speaking of the hurricane, last year when we had a thunderstorm, just straight line winds, it messed up our baseball and softball field. So we had to play the remainder of the season on the road, and we still having issues with that today. So just make sure we can you reach out to people that used to play baseball for Alabama A&M or softball, or people in athletics period, so that we can get that taken care of. And Dr. Brown, if you got anything to add, please feel free to add it in the comments. We'll be sure to show it on the screen if you want to add anything in addition to that, since you are here. And the next thing that we're going to talk about, we kind of threw it out there last Friday, is the $5 Friday. So we're going to start this every Friday. You can do it every day. What we want to do on Friday is to make sure that you go to aamu.edu, click give, and choose athletics. A lot of people are like, well, I want to give this so. This platform is about athletics. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to give the athletics. Now, there's an athletics drop down, but there's also an individual sport as well. So give $5 to athletics, then go give $5 to the sport that you support the most. And of course, with donating through those sites, there's also a fee. So go ahead and add the 20 cents too to take care of it. And so you'll be giving $5.20, because if you don't, your $5 donation will be a $4.80 donation. The school will have to take care of that 20 cents. So we're gonna be pushing this hard. $5 Fridays. We kind of started last Friday. We're gonna be pushing it every day. Give $5. That it doesn't have to only be $5. It could be $55. It could be $15. It could be
$5,000.
It could be $5,000. Give something with a 5 in it. And I'm sure Dr. Bryant and all those head coaches and assistant coaches and the student athletes will definitely appreciate that. And that's all I have.
And this is something that Dr. Bryant said. He said, I want to make sure that we get everybody engaged into every sport. And we set the pace tonight by having bowling on, and we've got some other things coming up through the cycle. So next thing that we have for you, we're coming up here at the end. We just want to kind of talk a little bit briefly about the playoffs, about where we are. Okay. So myself and T Gooden and Jen, and David doesn't really count because he just picked the Super Bowl.
Right.
But myself and T Gooden and Jen, we all had the same record, 3-2. All of us came up empty on them Cowboys. I swung and missed because the Chargers fell asleep in the second half and gave up a 27-0 lead. But however, I was the only one to pick the Giants to win. So we're good, but we're all 3-2. All right. So our matchups, divisional round. Saturday starts 4:30 with Jaguars going up against Kansas City. And then you've got the Saturday night game is the Eagles hosting the Giants. And then Sunday slate, 3:00 on CBS, you've got the Bengals playing the Bills, which is great that they get a chance to play each other because we all know what happened a few weeks ago. And then the nightcap, Sunday night, 6:30 Fox, them Cowboys going to play the 49ers. Picks quickly.
I'm still, I'm good on the Kansas City and what is that, Jaguars. I'm still going with Kansas City on that. Nothing's gonna change with me. I think what's the quarterback? Call him Sunshine from the Titans.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence. He can't. It was 5 interceptions. Yeah,
4.
It was 4. So I think he's still gonna play poorly, but that won't work against Kansas City. So I'm still going with KC. I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I picked Eagles to go to the Super Bowl, so I'm riding that all the way out. I picked the Bills to go to the Super Bowl, so I'm gonna roll with that. My pick here, now Dallas played extremely well but I still think they lose coming up this weekend. So I'm going to go with the 49ers on that game.
All right, Jen, your divisional round picks.
Whew, okay. I got the Chiefs over the Jaguars, the Bills over the Bengals, the 49ers. Don't let me down. I cannot deal with the Cowboys another week. 49ers over Cowboys, Eagles over Giants.
All right, Corey.
My homeboy Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, and go with the Buffalo Bills. I think they'll pull it out over the Bengals. I think that's going to be a good game, but I think the Buffalo's going to pull it out. Now, I think everybody's going to be excited about the Cowboys, winning the other night, but I think defense, it's going to be too tough. So the 49ers, and in that Eagles and Giants game, I think this can be an upset special.
I agree.
However, just because I know the pedigree of the Giants, and if Jalen Hurts don't come or they don't come to play, that's going to be the upset special. But I'm pulling for the Eagles, so I'm going to pick the Eagles because I'm Jalen Hurts.
All right. So my picks, the most lopsided game of the weekend to me is going to be the Jaguars. They had no business winning, and they're not going to win. The Chiefs coming off a bye, I think they're going to blow them out. The Bengals, I picked the Bengals to win the Super Bowl. Yes, I did. A.D. Bryant, I did pick the Bengals to win the Super Bowl, even though I can't stand them boys. Now, their offensive line is beat up. Jonah Williams, their starting left tackle, left the game with a dislocated kneecap. And when he left the game, Baltimore's pass rush went to work. And so, but also Buffalo, they didn't play a great game either. Josh Allen threw interceptions. He fumbled. They left a very wounded team with Miami. They made that a game. So I'm going to stick with my pick. I'm going with the Bengals. Saturday night, I do have the Eagles. This is the third time they're playing the Giants. I think they're going to beat them. It'll be a closer game, but I think that the Giants, they're going to be game, but they're not going to win. And then the last game of the weekend. It's so funny, y'all. All these Cowboy fans celebrating. They beat a losing team. A team that had a losing record, and they celebrate like they won the Super Bowl. Well, you can put your celebrations on ice for another year because you're not beating the 49ers. All right. So that is it for that. And lastly, here's what we got coming up for next week's show.
Coming up on the next episode of From the Hill Podcast, it's a special Alliance episode. First up, HBCU sports reporter and podcast host Jeff Lightsey Jr., followed by the boys from the hit podcast Swackin' a Fool. Also, we'll get you caught up on all the recent men's and women's Bulldog basketball action. Join us live January 24th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. It's fun. It's you. It's us. It's From the Hill Podcast.
Well, that's next week.
Next week, baby.
Next week. So, all right. So as we wind down this episode, we like to say a special shout out to all of the ladies from the bowling team and also Coach Moore and his wonderful wife. Thank them for joining us this evening. And also another shout out to Courtney Tate from HBCU Gold. So thankful that she was able to join us. And also our illustrious athletic director who's been on this show and also been joining us in the comments. We thank you. And we thank you for all of our viewers out there. Some of you are with us every single week and we enjoy it. We enjoy your comments. We enjoy your energy. We enjoy your passion. So as you saw in the promo, next week, we'll be right back here. Do not miss it. The Alliance episode is going to be really on and popping. We're going to talk about all things SWAC, all things HBCU, and all things sports, and we're going to have some fun. And like David said, hit that like button before you leave. And also those of you who are going to be watching this recording, make sure you connect and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And so this has been a special show, a special time, and we're so thankful. So for Mr. T. Gooden, Miss J. the Great, Mr. Corey C.K. Williams, I am your man, Wild Wayne Cartwright. God bless everybody, and good night.